You think women fall for money, looks, or muscles. No, most women fall for a man who makes them feel something real. And it all starts with the questions you ask. Because when a man knows how to ask the right questions, he doesn't chase her, she chases the connection. She starts thinking about you when you're not around. She replays your words in her mind like a song she can't turn off. But here's the truth most men never learn: you don't need pickup lines. You don't need fake confidence. You just need to understand how her mind works. So today, I'm going to show you the kind of questions that quietly make a woman attached to you, emotionally, deeply, and naturally. No tricks, no games, just pure psychology and presence. But before we get into those questions, you need to understand why they work. So don't skip this one, man, because by the end of this video, you'll know the exact question that flips a woman's interest from "he's nice" to "I want him." If you're tired of mixed signals and guessing games, hit subscribe. We drop real talk daily about red flags, attraction, and dating psychology that actually works. And tell me in the comments, what's one question you've asked a girl that got a reaction you didn't expect? I read every one. Now, let's get into it. Reality check. Let's be honest, you've probably been in situations where you liked a girl, but somehow she didn't see you that way. You were nice. You were available. You listened. And yet, she said those words, "Every man hates to hear you're such a good guy, but I don't feel that spark." That line hurts, doesn't it? Because deep down, you know you gave her your best, and somehow, that still wasn't enough. Here's why: women don't fall in love through logic. They fall in love through emotion. A woman doesn't sit there and make a list: he's tall, he's kind, he's consistent, okay, I'll love him. No. She feels it. Something in her heart lights up, and half the time, she can't even explain why. But there is a reason. It's because certain emotional switches get triggered during deep conversation, especially when a man asks the kind of questions that touch her hidden world. When you ask those questions, you're not just talking, you're connecting. You're helping her feel seen, maybe for the first time in years. And that's where attraction truly begins. See, every woman has two sides, the one she shows the world, and the one she hides when no one's watching. The second side, that quiet, emotional side, is where real love lives. And most men never reach it, because they keep talking about surface things. What do you do? Where do you live? How was your day? Safe questions. Boring questions. Forgettable questions. The kind that make you sound like every other guy. But when you ask questions that go a little deeper, the kind that make her pause, think, and open up, you separate yourself instantly. Because every woman wants a man who can make her feel safe enough to be honest. That's the real power. So before you learn which questions to ask, remember this: you're not trying to impress her. You're trying to understand her. That's what builds real attraction. So now, we'll go through the 7 types of questions that naturally make a woman open her heart, and how to ask them with quiet confidence that pulls her closer without even trying. Now that you understand why the right questions work, let's break down 7 types of questions that quietly open her heart. Each one hits a different emotional switch, and when you combine them, she'll start to feel something she can't quite explain. That's connection. Real connection. 1. The curiosity question. Ask something that no one ever asks her. Something that makes her stop and think. Instead of, "How was your day?" ask, "What's something that made you smile this week?" It sounds small, but it's powerful because it focuses on emotion, not routine. It tells her, "I'm paying attention to what moves you, not just what you do." And that's rare. Women remember men who make them feel seen. 2. The childhood memory question. Ask her something that brings her back to who she used to be. For example, what were you like as a kid? Shy, wild, or curious? This question hits deep. It takes her out of her adult mask and pulls her into her emotional world. When she answers, she's not just telling you about her past, she's feeling it again. That's how bonds are formed, through emotion replay, not logic. 3. The passion question. Every woman wants a man who cares about what drives her. Ask, what's something you could talk about for hours without getting bored? Watch how her face lights up when she answers. You'll notice her energy change, her tone softens, her eyes focus. That's attraction being born because she feels emotionally understood. And the more she shares that energy with you, the more she connects your presence with joy. 4. The vulnerability door. This one separates real men from surface talkers. Ask softly, what's something you wish people understood about you? It's a question of trust. When she answers, she's lowering her guard, and in that moment, you become a safe space in her mind. A man she can be real with. That's where emotional attachment begins. 5. The future vision question. Ask her something that makes her dream. If you could design your perfect day, how would it look? This question makes her visualize joy. And guess who's sitting across from her while she's imagining it? You. In psychology, this is called emotional association. She links that feeling of excitement with your presence. She doesn't even realize it's happening, but her heart does. 6. The mirror question. This one builds respect. Ask her, what do you notice first when you meet someone new? Her answer tells you everything about how she sees people, and when she feels you understand how she sees the world, you stop being just another guy. You become the one who gets her. 7. The depth question. Finally, the question that builds lasting emotional gravity. What do you think makes love last? It's powerful because it turns the conversation from light to meaningful. She'll pause, reflect, and as she talks, she'll reveal her hopes, her fears, her beliefs. And if you listen, truly listen, she'll start to feel safe around you in a way she rarely feels with anyone. Each of these questions opens a door, but it's not about asking all of them like a checklist. It's about being present, listening with curiosity, not agenda. Because when a woman feels that energy, that calm focus, she senses it instantly. And that's when attraction stops being about looks and starts being about energy. Now, we'll talk about the emotional side, why so many good men feel invisible even when they care deeply, and how this understanding finally shifts the power back to you. Let's be honest. You've been the guy who cared too much. The one who texted first. The one who stayed up waiting for her reply. That never came. You've replayed conversations in your head, wondering what you said wrong. You've looked at her stories, trying to guess if she's thinking about you, and deep down, you know she's not. And that hurts, because you didn't come with bad intentions. You came with honesty. You gave attention, time, and effort, things men don't give lightly. But instead of getting respect for that, you got distance. Cold replies, mixed signals. You started asking yourself, why does caring push them away? Here's the truth, and it's a hard one. You didn't do too much. You just gave it to the wrong kind of woman. Some women crave validation, not connection. They love the feeling of being desired, but they don't want to build anything real. So when a man shows real interest, they pull away. Not because you're not good enough, but because they're not ready for that kind of depth. Listen carefully, you are not weak for caring. You are not desperate for wanting connection. You are human. And feeling deeply is not your flaw, it's your superpower. But here's the mistake most men make. They give that power away too easily. You can be kind and still have boundaries. You can be soft-spoken and still command respect. Because real attraction doesn't come from proving your worth, it comes from knowing it. When you know who you are, you stop chasing. You stop explaining. You stop begging for a text, a call, or a moment of attention. And that's when the energy shifts. Because women feel energy. If your energy says, I need you to like me, she'll pull away. But if your energy says, I'm good with or without you, she leans in. It's strange, right? The moment you stop trying, that's when she starts noticing you. Because silence has weight. Self-respect has gravity. And a man who isn't easily moved, that's the man who stands out. So when you ask those deep questions from before, don't ask them to impress her. Ask them to understand her. Because a man who listens calmly, without trying to please, gives off something rare, emotional strength. That's what women truly crave. Not fake alpha energy, not cold arrogance, but calm confidence, the kind that says, I see you, but I'm not lost in you. That's what keeps her thinking about you later. That's what makes her wonder, what's different about this guy? And the answer is simple. You're not chasing approval anymore. You're building connection. And connection built from calmness and strength, that's what creates real attraction. Now next, we'll flip the dynamic completely. You'll see how silence, presence, and purpose make her realize your value and how to walk away in power, so she's the one chasing your attention. Here's the moment everything changes. The moment you stop chasing and start attracting. Because the truth is, the more you try to get her, the less she feels the need to come closer. But the moment you pull your energy back, she starts to feel the space. Silence speaks. It tells her he's not waiting for me. It makes her wonder, why isn't he trying anymore? And that curiosity, that small ache of mystery, is what flips the power. See, women aren't drawn to the man who tries to convince them. They're drawn to the man who has already chosen himself. The man who's not out here begging for love because he is love. That's the shift. You stop giving your energy to people who don't value it. You stop chasing answers that were never meant to give you peace. You start focusing on the one thing that never leaves you, your purpose. When you start moving like that, calm, confident, building your own world, she feels it. Even if she doesn't say it, she senses it. And that's when her curiosity turns into regret. She starts to think, maybe I misjudged him. Maybe I lost something real. And by then, you've already leveled up. You've already become the man who doesn't need to prove his worth because he lives it every day. That's what true power looks like. Not shouting, not flexing, not chasing. Just quiet control. A man who knows his worth doesn't argue about it. He shows it. So hear me clearly, you never lost because she didn't choose you. You win every time you choose yourself. Every unanswered text, every cold silence, every rejection, they were lessons. They built your patience. They built your standards. They built the version of you that women can't play with anymore. You are not meant to beg for love, you are meant to attract it by being grounded in who you are. So stop asking, what do women want? Start asking, what kind of man do I want to become? Because when you grow into that man, purpose-driven, focused, emotionally stable, you won't have to chase connection. You'll become it. Your energy will do the talking. Your silence will do the teaching. And she'll feel it. Every woman who once overlooked you will notice the change. Not because you got louder, but because you got stronger. That's the quiet revenge of self-respect. That's the kind of power that never fades. Now you've heard everything. You know the truth about how connection really works. So here's my question to you. Are you going to keep chasing approval? Or are you finally ready to become the man women respect and remember? All right, we've covered everything. Now it's your turn. Pay attention, use what you learned, and go get her, but with calm confidence, not desperation. If something didn't click, watch this again. The second time, it'll make even more sense. Hit subscribe and like. We drop real talk daily about red flags, attraction, and dating truth that actually works. And comment below, tell me which part hit you the hardest, so I know what to make next for you. Now go watch the next video showing on your screen. That one's your next move.